I'll show you the crusties. Look how bad those are. Oh. But at least they're coming out. All right, the headers are off. Heat shield was over the headers. Headers are off. This thing, I don't know what it is, like has these two spots that connect to the back of the head. I assume that they're just like pulling out pressure from the head. There's one on each side, right there and right there. I'm pretty sure those are blocked off on the engine that came on the car. So here's the one on the right. Had this little plate on it, so I can stick that back on there again. And the one on the left, yep, has another one of these plates. I now just need to start swapping over like these block off plates, the oil pan, which is the biggest job. I should probably do that now before it gets dark because, or you know, before it gets late, because I would like to use the engine stand to do that. I don't have a whole lot of time before it's gonna be like curfew and I gotta be quiet. So while I can, I'm gonna use the air gun to take the pan off. So I'm gonna try to get this engine out, keep it on the stand. So I gotta clean all this stuff out right here so that I can roll this all the way out and around the cars. Flip it upside down, which is gonna pour so many fluids out, and then take the lower pan off, and then take the upper pan off, take the pan that was on this and put it on that one. So let's get to it. Alright, so I got all those bolts out. There were two up top that I didn't see initially. Right there and right there. And then it looks like this whole plate on this side bolts in right there with all these little triple square bolts. So I'm gonna try to pop those out as fast as I can. So it looks like there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I don't see anything else holding this in, so it should pop out after that. So we'll see if that's the case. The oil pickup tube I disconnected from this side, so it should come out with the upper pan, but we'll see. And look at that dipstick. It's kind of cool how that kind of sticks through like that. Not important whatsoever, but just kind of something cool to look at. I'm kind of running out of time, so hopefully this goes quickly. This one is out. I forgot to grab it. It's kind of just sitting there. Very difficult to do. Okay. What's up, guys? So yesterday I didn't really record much because I was listening to music a lot and I didn't want to get copyright issues. So I did a lot of those time lapses. I'm trying to work really quickly, so just putting music on and working and putting the camera down helps me do that. So here's what we got. My camera died last night. What I did last night was I tried to get the oil pan off, as you saw. So the lower pan comes off easily. That's the one that's sitting on that table thing right there. The upper pan, which is right here, is a lot more difficult because you had that oil pickup tube that went right here and mounted right there. And there was a little roller right here for the belt right here. And then I also undid these top bolts right here from this little cover that's behind the damper, because those bolt into the upper pan. And then I came over here and I undid these bolts that go through this big timing cover and into the pan. And then I thought I was good. I figured I'd be good to take the pan off, but I'll show you guys what happens when you try to do that. Right here, the pan will come loose. It's completely loose because there are no bolts holding it in anymore. So what I tried doing yesterday was lifting it like this, and it would lift a lot on this side, but I couldn't get it to come out over here. No matter what I tried wiggling it, prying on it, a whole bunch of stuff. What I ended up finding out, or seeing underneath, seeing in here, see right here, there's a chain guide right in here, right there, that chain guide that's connected. See right there, that goes into the pan. So that guide is hitting this cover piece and it can't come out because of that. From this angle, I couldn't see what the hell was going on in there. I didn't know what was going on. I thought that if I took the pan off, like if I somehow really forced it off, which I don't even know if I'd really be able to because the oil pump hits the pan right here. I was thinking that chain's gonna lose tension. What I then did was unbolt everything from this cover piece, including this one right here. There's like probably 4 of them down here that connect this piece, which is on the side of the head. Actually, that is the head. So this cover piece bolts onto the head, so I had to undo all those. And finally I was able to pull this guy off. So in here you can see the timing chain. That's the crank position sensor. So yeah, this is the timing chain. So that's pretty cool. So that's the crank right there. I have 1 flywheel bolt in there because I was trying to counter hold something on the other side. I'll show you that in a second. Little sprocket for the oil pump right there. So you can see the oil pump. Like I said, the pickup tube's the only thing I took off it. Here's a guide on the right side. Another guide right there on the left side. There's that guide I was talking about that's on the pan. So if I put this down for 1 second, I'll show you. Oh man, it's disgusting over here. Oh, and here's the rear main seal. Goes right over the crank. So here, I'll show you that now the pan comes off without an issue. Nice and easy. And that also shows you that this thing is really just a guide. Like, it doesn't really tension it. I mean, it tensions this section, so like this section will wiggle more now that that's not there. But removing this doesn't do anything bad. Crank, oil pump, guide. And here's like a gear that has this other chain that drives the cams. So here would be the exhaust cam. Here's the intake cam. A couple more guides. So I think it's pretty much all I have to show here. Oh, and then I can take this off as well and show you the crank and pistons and rods. Oh crap, this video is getting really long and I don't have a lot of storage on this card, so I actually gotta move quickly and not be too long here. But basically what I want to find out is I don't want to remove this entire cover on the other block, because that means I have to now clean all this stuff and reseal all those areas, because right here, like, cleaning all this would be annoying. I don't want to have to do that. I want to just take the pan off That's still gonna be a lot of cleaning and sealing. I'm still gonna have to clean all this and all this on here. And this one too. So that's still a lot of work. So I'm just trying to minimize my work and not have to undo that. So I'm looking over here and I'm thinking that if I take the damper off, which is quick and easy, and then take this cover from behind the damper off, I'm thinking I should be able to just, when I loosen up the pan, all the bolts, I should be able to just slide it out this way, because this guy shouldn't have any issue. It won't have any issue going that way. It's really just going up where it hits the cover over there. The only issue is possibly the pump might have an issue with that, but if I lift it up slightly, which I am able to do, it might just slide over the pump enough for me to get this out. So I'm gonna give this a little test run real quick, just so I'm prepared for when I do this on that engine, which I'm gonna be actually running. And then real quick, I'll just show you guys pistons and the rods and everything. I took a quick look at this last night. I don't know. I didn't really look at it enough to really see anything, but it does look pretty clean in here. I didn't see any like chunks of oil or chunks of metal or metal shavings or anything like that. So that's at least reassuring. Yeah, I mean, it is a built bottom end, which is good. It is what he said it was. You know, that was a concern in the back of my head. I mean, I trusted the guy, but you can never completely trust someone. So you can see right there, it says IE Tuscan rods. And then the pistons have a part number. It says 1942975. Sound like I'm giving a phone number out. And then main caps, just OEM main caps. I don't know what else to really show in here. You can't see the bearings. So not really much to see. Everything looks fine from this perspective, but I think once I get the head off and I take the pistons out, I'll probably see something. Maybe even like blown ring lands, or just like completely out of spec piston ring, something like that. But we'll see once I get everything apart. For now, I'm just working on getting that other engine in the car. So this strip down will have to wait until probably next week. So I'm gonna take the damper and the cover behind it off and test out my theory about the oil pan sliding out this way. So it's not what I was hoping for. I was hoping that this would just be like a little cover that doesn't seal against the block, but yeah, it seals against the block. So not only is this sealing oil, it's also like a very flimsy cover. Like you can see it actually bent right here. So getting that back into shape might not be easy. Like this might not even be reusable. That complicates things even more. But let me at least just test the theory and see if the pan will slide out. Because if it doesn't still, then I can't go this route anyway. I'm gonna have to just take that big cover off of this side regardless. All right, so here's the moment of truth. Got this guy back on here lightly, put one bolt in place just to kind of hold it there. Let's see if this guy slides out. Pulling on it and lifting it at the same time. Yep. Well, it came out, but it also pulled the idler off, which would be really risky if I was going to be reusing this right away, because that could have, the guide, I should have said, the guide could have fallen down there and been an absolute pain in the ass to get back out. I'm gonna have to be mindful of that if I do go this route on the other engine. But yeah, I mean, it worked. I mean, that's a good test would be to see if it can go back on, because if it can't go back on, then I'm also gonna be screwed. That's tricky because it's gotta go under, it's gotta go on top of the chain again, but underneath of the cover. And it's also gonna be like very, very difficult to see if it went in the right place. Yeah, you know what? I might not be able to get it back on. This is already proving to be difficult. I'm gonna play around with this a little bit and I'll let you guys know what happens. Okay, 2 more things I'm realizing. So one thing is that this guy isn't gonna slide back in there. No matter what angle I try to get on this, I can't get that little guide to go back underneath the part on this cover that's blocking it. So like, I'll show you real quick. See how the guide has up on the top of it? It has like this little curved spot between the 2 dowels that it slides into. There's this little like curved spot right here. So that curved spot matches up pretty well with this curved spot underneath this bolt right here, this bolt hole. Hopefully this whole thing doesn't fall off. Okay, so there's this bolt hole right here. See how there's this curved spot underneath? That, I believe, sits right into that curved spot. That's what I think, because it does line up pretty damn well. So I don't think it's a coincidence. But regardless, I can't get it to slide underneath there. Instead, it's just hitting the cover right there. So I don't see how I'm gonna be able to do this. So I might as well just take the entire cover off of the other engine when I'm doing this right away. Just accept my fate. And then the other issue over here is that actually, even without taking this cover off all the way, I would still have an issue because that cover actually comes up here. I didn't realize that. So that cover actually seals up on here on the upper pan. So I think it would probably be kind of risky for me to not take the cover completely off. And I think it would also be probably kind of risky to not replace the cover, since taking it off bends it. Unless I can probably be more careful with the other one. And now that I know what's behind here, I could probably just stick a really thin pry tool in here, but don't actually pry. I could actually just like hammer on it straight to just break the sealant, but not bend it, not bend the cover. So I should be able to get away with reusing the other one if I'm more careful. This one, I just started prying the crap out of it. So yeah, I think I have a game plan for the next engine for stripping down the other one. What I have to do is get that one onto the engine stand, obviously. Having to do all this on the other engine, because I mean, this is a lot of work. Cleaning alone, just cleaning and resealing all this stuff is gonna take a long time. I don't even know if it's really worth it to do all this. What I'm considering doing is just using the lower pan, which is, don't get me wrong, that is not ideal whatsoever. So like, using the oil pan, or the lower pan, I'd have to like put the fitting somewhere up here